or something. Dark on, look at that, everyone searched. An action role-playing game simulator being developed by Russian studio. It's been out for a while. Jeez. Or is it not out yet? Beta is available. This game ain't out yet? What? Looks okay. Looks nice. Let me look at, let me see. Got a trailer here real quick. I don't know if I can get these captured. Let me see. Oh, wow. Feels like another Call of Duty, but different. I'm not seeing actual gameplay. I'll have to check it out sometime. See what's going on with that, you know? Oh my gosh. Look for a match here real quick. Check it out sometime? Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I definitely will. Oof. Looks like I kind of warmed up or something. Ooh. A little warm. Okay. Yeah. Is it out for PlayStation though? Like, have you played it on there or no? Not yet. What?
Take a turn. You go this match, I go next match.
Oh, hold on. No.
Okay.
First of all, you got homework.
No, I don't.
Second of all, I don't have that much time. Cause I gotta get off soon. I gotta head out.
We're taking turns.
Never know. You got homework to do.
I'm sorry.
All right, here we go. Showtime. I actually do really good with her. But first of all, let me check this one right over here. Let's see what we got. Well, I'm here to be spotted, guys. That means they're all the way on the other side.
We're over there by a generator.
Generator? Yep, definitely. They're about to finish that one because it took me so long to get there. Why is this one not paused? What the hell? Yep. Did you jump? Knock this one. Let's knock this one down, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, you think you're over there? You think you're safe? Huh? Don't know what to do. She's like, oh my god. Ooh, you son of a gun. Wow. Gotcha. Better run. You better run.
Did she just pull that out of her hand?
Oh yeah, right out of her hand. Oh! They knocked one generator down, guys. It's all about outsmarting your enemy. I got her. She's mine now. Did you jump again? I know. I told you. Well, we gotta get you Game Pass. We're gonna talk to Mo. Get you some Game Pass back, okay? Let's get her here. Well, actually, the basement was close, but we're not gonna do the basement, guys. Somebody was working on this one? How dare they?
Put that down.
Oh, I do this so they can hear the audio. Because I'm recording the screen too. Is it loud?
Yes. You can't hear it, but I can. Wait a second, Daddy. Can I have the Xbox headphones on since you're using those? Daddy.
Oh, got the smackaroo on her. Come on. That's right. Knock it down. Knock it down.
Daddy, can I use Xbox?
What?
Can I use your Xbox headphones here?
No, I just lost her. Oh, I still got visual. Hold on. I don't have it connected right now. Not right now. Just... Or give me a second. I'll turn it on for you. You remember how to do them? Go ahead. Go ahead. Just... knock this bad boy down. I can't even focus right now, guys. I'm sorry. Well, I'm gonna get you. Come on, man. We got the hit on her. We need to get the other one. Hey, stop making so much noise. I need to focus.
I'm not making noise.
If I lose, this is the first game I've ever lost. I never lose. Oh my god, I'm missing everything. Move out of my way. Alright, these guys are really ticking me off. Damn it, I need to pay attention. Now I lost the girl I had on the ground. Where the heck did she go? Come on, man. That's 2 down. Alright, hold on. We got her. No, they're gonna use the pallet on me. Oh, and you missed. Haha. What the hell? Alright, do you hear it? See, the one's on the hook and the one's down on the ground. That's 2 down. Okay. Alright, there's a smack. No, Yeah, I hate that that doesn't count. That doesn't register. Dang it! I got her though. I'm about to say, where the heck she go? Alright, let's get her on the hook, guys. Get her out of here. Bye-bye. Okay, come on. We need to knock that one down too. This is the one I want.
Jumping over.
Oh, try to outmaneuver me.
Really, Daddy? Minecraft Hero Brian.
Oh, you here to hear her, Brian? All right, let's pick her up, get her back on the hook, guys.
Why does she have a Minecraft horror name in a horror game?
I have no idea. Yeah, you hear that gruesome? Pretty painful. I hate that it does this. Come on. I need to get a new cord. I bought this cheap cord and all it does is give me problems. They're gonna be on one of these 2 generators. Let's go ahead and move it inwards, guys. Look at this guy. Alright, these generators are clear. Only 4 more to go. Alright, let's phase walk it. We're working on this one. Come here, come here, come here. Alright, we knock her down, guys. They need 1 generator, though. That's not good. Get her on the hook real quick. The less people, the easier it's going to be for me. That's the first time on the hook, too. Yeah, I hear you. Where you think you're going? Huh? Come here. There's a smack. There's a smack. Come on. Oh, you son of a gun.
Yeah, they got her off the hook.
This is her last chance. I think she's out of the map. Or off the arena on this one. Get her on the hook.
I don't know what I got.
Come on. Where you going? Where you going? Hey, see how I tricked her? You like that? I told you I grabbed her right by the neck, like, come here. That's how I treat my victims. I should have put them both on the hooks, though. Wasn't paying attention. Dang it, I always like to leave one. Well, now I know where they both are. Come on. I'm gonna wait. Get you on the hook and you go bye-bye. Let's get over there, guys. What do you think you're doing? I'm gonna leave her on the ground. I'm gonna find the last victim. I just heard. I think I heard her here. All right, here we go. Generator's almost down, which is perfect. You hear that weird whistle? I'm gonna leave her staying on the ground. I'm not worrying about her. This is gonna give me time to find the other person. I need to take this one down. Wait, so yeah, I heard she was good when she first came out. But, I mean, I do okay with her. It's all good. I don't have to play the most powerful hunters just to enjoy. I mean, I still like Jigsaw and Freddy. Those are my favorite ones. All right, where is this girl? She is hiding somewhere. All right, let's get moving. She's not coming for the rescue. She wants to take the hatch. So I gotta find out where the hatch is gonna be, guys. Once we find this hatch, we're good. Take a look around on the ground here. I think I saw her right over there. Let me go take a look. Up. No? My crows are not working too. They are really crawling it up. I don't know where it is.
There she is.
Yep.
She's crawling.
Going somewhere? Huh? Where do you think you're going? See what I did? So I keep the one on the ground. Because if I put her on the hook and she dies, that ground hatch would have opened and she would have escaped. So just to be safe, I'm gonna put her down for a second. I'm gonna act like I'm far away, but I'm not. So I'm gonna wait for the other one to die out because she's almost bleeding out.
They go get her now.
You heard the hatch? Look, look. It's right over there. You hear it? But she can still... Let me show you where it is. Right here.
Hey, you can close it?
I can close it, but they can still open it. It just... The sound goes away. So once again, flawless victory, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! New Meg, right. They were scared. Huh?
I'll be terrified that comes out from me.
Yeah, she is pretty creepy looking. What time is it? 4:16. Still kind of early. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Hold on.
I'm not playing.
I can't mess up this. See how we have everything going right now. Yeah, there's some cool skins, man. Some of the oh wow. Okay, he's gonna decorate my character real quick, guys. That last round was a close. Oh, you could decorate them now?
Look at the charm on the thing.
Oh, I knew they were gonna do that. That's cool. They'll add anything they can for cosmetics. Yeah, so right now, Fool said the clown and the spirit, which is this lady, they've been nerfed down.
What the heck? The Oni?
Yeah, he looks pretty good. You gotta buy him. It's gonna cost like $5 or $6.
Yeah, but look at him. Wait a second, let me look at the characters again. I'm done. Hold on, they had all these guys. They had the Nightmare. They had that guy. They had Fred. They had this whatever his name is. They had Jeff. They had Scream. And now I seen this. Why does he look so naked?
Yeah, it's actually from TV episodes that we haven't saw yet. I haven't saw them.
He opens his face, please.
Oh, he does. But when he opens his face, that's the last thing you're ever gonna see. You see his teeth? Look, oh, see it?
Too many teeth. That guy's called a Demogorgon.
Do me a favor, pick me the pig. Mm-hmm.
Why does that look like Guisha? Why does it look like Guisha?
I know, right?
Hey, you know what's funny?
What?
I was just gonna ask if I could play the pig.
Huh?
I was just gonna ask if I could play the pig.
The Demogorgon is bad? Is that the new one? Go down?
Yeah, the Demogorgon's the new
Yeah.
one.
Well, they're saying it's not a good character. Huh.
Because that really all he does is bite you and teleport.
Alright, let me see for a second. Alright, guys, give me a second. Let me try something. Oh, that's us. Oh, I'm like, wait, what the heck is that? Uh-oh. Are you serious?
Down trap team.
Oh god.
Daddy, go. Wanna go to my games?
No, we have to hurry up.
Go to my games. Go to games. It's in there. There it is.
Yeah, I just don't know if you're gonna have the characters though. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna let Little Man play one, guys. Not that delayed. It's actually pretty up to on par. Like, not too bad.
Thank you, Daddy.
You're welcome.
See, this is a true daddy.
See, I got this game for PC. I wish it was crossplay. Because on the Xbox, sometimes it likes to lag, like when you're in the middle of like a chase.
I don't think I have my stuff.
Right now this
Wait,
one's on
Daddy,
Xbox. We're playing Xbox right now.
Since you have your skin, since you have your account on there with mine, don't I have your skins?
I don't know. It depends. Because sometimes when you buy items, it's linked to your profile, not your game. So I don't know what to see. But since I'm signed in, it might work. It's loading all the transactions now.
I don't have any.
Oh yeah, it's making it think it's your first time playing. Hit Y for accept. Accept again. It's all a bunch of blah blah blahs saying don't do what people do in this game. Don't go murdering people in real life like you do in this game. Oh, there was you might, cause look, you got the nurse. Go ahead and play as killer. And then let's see what we have.
Oh, look at customizer. Look.
Oh yeah. You have them? Wow. There you go.
Cause your account's in it.
Yep.
I just don't have her or him or him.
Yeah, that's so weird.
I don't really like. It's cause she's probably a new one.
Yeah, but I have her on mine.
No, she's one of the new.
That's interesting.
So I didn't have to pay for it. Cause look.
Yeah. All right, go ahead and pick the pig because they want to see you play pig.
Daddy, remember at the old house you had your account signed in, so I was able to play all these guys. That's why she's level 3.
Yeah.
You play him.
Well, right now you need more blood points. You only got 529. Every 5 levels, you unlock a perk slot, and it makes your character better. So all your characters are low leveled right now. We got to get them leveled up.
I like her. I'm playing her.
Nurse is nerfed, but still strong. Yeah, I've always heard that this game, they really focus more on the survivors point. Like, the survivors have the better of everything. And it's very true. I used to play, like, Identity V. I played this, and then I played some, last year, The Last Nightmare. I didn't purchase the new one because I got it as for being a Discord partner. I got a free copy, and now they didn't want to give me another copy, so I said screw it. So I'm just going to skip out on it.
I'm playing her.
After the stunt they pulled to their community, I don't want to risk spending out of pocket for a game that may not keep going.
I'm playing her.
That's fine. Play whatever you want. Hurry, because I'm out of time. I gotta go.
Hey, who do you recommend?
I might have to just go because by the time you start this ride, it's gonna take like 5 minutes for matchmaking, and then the round's gonna take like 15-20 minutes. I'm gonna have to head out. Hurry up, because if not, you can play this on your Xbox. I don't want this one on when I'm gone. All right. Dedicated servers are now enabled for the PS4 version of the game. If you wow. So why not Xbox? We plan to enable dedicated servers for Xbox One as well, but there's still some work to be done first. Really, Dead by Daylight? They took priority in PlayStation? Wow. That's crazy. You see, look. Let's see, on our Discord server, I have it to where it updates. They literally just posted this.
Hey,
What?
I know why. I'm only level 6.
Level 6? Level 6? Why is it doing that? Hold on. Shows that it's on. How come I don't see it on here? All right, take it easy, Full. Thank you. Why is it not popping up on here? Bye bye. Thanks for coming in. I don't know why they took out the. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I don't have this. There we go. Let's go back up for a second. We'll do some more maybe when I get back or something.
Charging battery.
Alright guys. We're gonna go ahead and just end it right there. If you want to play this, we'll just put on your Xbox real quick. I'm actually gonna go ahead and just end this kind of short, guys. I got some things I gotta do, but we'll come back and do an actual stream later on, guys. So we'll see what's going on with that. Okay, we'll do our normal evening stream. Just right now, I just wanted to put a little quick one out there real quick, but I'll catch you guys later.